What's going on? This is Shango Ray. When I was a Christian many years ago, I remember hearing my female pastor, woman pastor, say to the congregation one time that adultery can bind up your finances. And at the time, I didn't know what she meant. To be quite honest, in my mind, I was thinking, how in the fuck can me stepping out on my wife, affect my finances? Like, this bitch is crazy, But now that I know how things, or have a much better understanding of how things work spiritually, energetically, dare I say universally, I can see several ways that holds true. Because also what that is talking about are what they are referred to in the church as soul ties. And I think of soul ties and I think of energetic cords. And soul ties has a particular descriptive ring to it that is quite accurate. Recently, over the last few weeks, I've had a large influx of clients come to me with issues that I could clearly see were also directly correlated to soul ties. So let me ask you this question, okay? Do you find yourself having trouble? And I'm gonna get to why I'm asking you this. Do you find yourself having trouble going from where you are to where you want to be? Okay, because there's a specific reason I'm asking this. Specifically when it comes to your financial goals. But not just strictly related to your financial goals. Okay, I'm saying that one first. Do you find that you have trouble, okay? Like maybe the pendulum swings this way and then all of a sudden you're back the other way. What I'm about to tell you is not going to apply to everybody. It's just not. If this is the whole population of who I'm talking to, then there's probably a demographic like this who I know that this is going to be for. Because when I get this feeling, when Papa Shanguito get this feeling right here in the solar plexus, I know there's a calling. There's something that I need to do. I'm never wrong. Okay? Bottom line, I've basically seen in the spirit you're stuck because of these soul ties, particularly because of a soul tie to a specific person. Now, you may have several different soul ties, energetic cords, but I seen one for one. There's one big mamma jamma first that needs to be dealt with. Okay? It needs to be dealt with. It's unfinished business. You cannot move forward with this unfinished business still open. It's like an open loop. You can't move forward until you close the loop, until you have some resolution, some final resolution. Now, with this person, you're probably not even crying over this person. You're not pining over this person. And for all intents and purposes, everyone else around you can see, hey, well, you're making these efforts, you make progress, and then maybe you have some setbacks, but hey, that's just life, right? Nobody really knows what you're going through. Because I know at certain weird times, you get thoughts, you get sensations, you get whatever from this other person. Now, as I mentioned, there may be more than one, but there is a pecking order here. So basically, if I had to explain what I've seen of you, it's basically like you are tied to this. Have you ever seen two birds that are tied together trying to fly? Yes, it's not a pretty sight. It doesn't really work too well. Okay? Now, spiritually and energetically speaking, you can appear for a while to go and fly right. Okay? But there's always going to be that cord that like snaps you back somehow, some way. Maybe this particular relationship is freshly ended within the last few months or so. Maybe it's been over for a few years. Maybe you just can't not deal with this person because maybe you have kids. Okay, there's a bunch of different scenarios about it. But whatever the case may be, it is important to obliterate these soul ties once and for all. Finish the business so you can move forward. And you know what? Let me say it like this too. Not just so you can move forward, so the other person can do whatever the hell they're going to do too. Now I could see it kind of being a mixture. You still think about this person quite often, depending on especially how fresh the separation is. You may still be very, very emotional about this. You may still be very emotional about this person, but you've been conditioned to suppress your pain and disappointment from this person for so long that you look like you're just fine. Okay? One thing about this whole soul tie business, and another reason why you got to finish the business. Okay? Pretend Papa Shanquito's handing you a gun. There's one in the chamber. Okay? This business is outside in the back. You need to go outside and lay it down. Okay? You got to lay it down. You got to put it out of its misery. Because you're going to keep bringing the shadow of this business into every single relationship that you encounter, that you try and build. You're never going to start with a blank slate, ever. No one's ever going to really get a fair chance with you, and nor you them. Because subconsciously, you're going to be dealing still with that old business, man. And you know what I'm saying is true. Like I said, a lot of this shit happens unconsciously. It will continue to happen unconsciously, meaning you're not going to even be aware of it. You won't even be aware. You ain't know. That's another reason. So besides your bag, your money, but for fuck's sake, how about for you? Your energy that's entwined with the old business. Then there's the energy of like the suppression or trying to keep this old business, like keep the closet door closed. Like you put a pressure on the, like, I don't want to deal with that right now. Just keep it closed. I got to keep moving. I got bills to pay. I got things to do. I got whatever it is that you got to do. But meanwhile, that shit never gets resolved. It's been pointed out to me specifically. And you know what? There is power in specificity. Being specific. And what Spirit told me today was specifically, you need to assist those who this applies to. And you know if it applies to you, because right now your intuition, your spirit is saying, bitch, this is talking to you. You need to assist them. You need to take them to the store. An STOR, a spirit tie obliteration ritual. That's exactly what this is about. Like I said, business needs to be finished. If you ever want at least even a decent chance of moving ahead in the fashion and in the way that you really want to move ahead. Because other than that, it ain't going to work. I know some of you, many of this demographic who this does apply to, many of y'all within here, y'all be checking their social media. I know you do, okay? You got your lurker accounts, okay? You be checking their social media. Yeah, you do. I know you do. There's still this. You may have actually very much really cared about this person. Genuinely loved. Genuinely gave everything you had. And okay, so maybe it didn't work. Some of you are actually binding yourself unconsciously. How's that? One of the first things that's necessary is to first of all admit it. You got to admit it. You got to keep it real with yourself. Because a lot of you are busy emotionally masturbating yourselves to sleep, thinking that, basically fooling yourselves like, oh, I'm done. Oh, that shit, oh, that nigga, oh, shit, that bitch, oh, yeah, I'm cool. I'm cool. No, you're not. You're not cool. It's okay not to be cool. You're trying to be too cool for school. It's okay to not be cool. If you want to be cool, to get cool, you got to first be comfortable enough with yourself, honest enough with yourself to say, you know what, I ain't cool right now. Or I never was cool off of that. And for some of you, yet again, there's a discovery to be made here. Maybe you're just discovering, you know what, I really thought I was cool, but I ain't. Whatever section of the seating of this particular demographic that you fall in, it's okay. That's why we're here. And this demographic, first of all, your finances are being fucked with because of this whole connection. Let me also say this too. This is not to demonify the other person. We need to take responsibility for our own shit. And so, since we want to take responsibility, want to take shit in our own hands and handle shit the way we feel we need to handle. If your spirit is saying, bitch, yes, this is what you need right here, then you listen up very carefully. This ritual is called unfinished business. Soul tie obliteration ritual. Take it to the store. Finish this business. The way this ritual goes, and the link is in the description box, it will be going down live. I'm going to be doing this ritual with you live September 7th on the new moon. Now, if you're not able to make it or be present live, that's okay. You're going to get the link. You're still doing it with us all together. This is a together thing, but this is a solo thing. This is the you thing. This is the fucking you thing. Okay? So it goes down on the 7th. First, we're going to start, loosen up. You know what I'm saying? Create space for your spirit to show you. This is the main motherfucker right here you needs to deal with. Like I said, you may have a few. There may be something that you totally forgot about. That's the main motherfucker. You may think it's this one over here. When, oh no, it's not. Trust your intuition. So we're going to create the space for that. Then we're going to be doing what I like to call a fire and ice ritual. Don't worry, details are all in the description. You go there, it'll explain all. It'll explain what time it's going to be live and everything. We're going to call our energy back. You got energy out there all over. You got energy out there. You need to call your energy back from this person specifically. Okay? Let me tell you something else. After we do that, we're also going to call back pieces of your auric field, or your aura. I sense that some of you have holes in your aura. Having holes in your aura spiritually is the equivalent of like walking around with a big cut, an open cut. What happens if you just walk around with an open cut? What can happen? Okay, there, I don't even have to say it. You know what can happen, all right? You can get an infection, invaders, company, unwanted company, all kinds of different things, okay? And finally, the fire aspect, which is transformative. We're going to banish and obliterate this connection once and for all. We're not just removing, we're obliterating. Period. Okay? I'm going to also be including some extra tools in here. You may need to watch this ritual more than once, not for the same person. Not for the same person. But like I said, some of you have multiple infractions going on here. Okay? And I can't, Papa Shankito can't be here all night for each and every one of you, you know, especially depending on the turnout for this. But you can watch it again. And this time, you make space and you see who spirit now brings up. Okay? Now, all who enter will be also receiving the 360 protection ritual, because once we call back your aura field, we do the fire, we do the ice, we do the fire, then we actually call back your auric pieces that were, you know how you get holes in your aura? Trauma. Through trauma, you can also be imprinted. There's a snail that likes to eat bird shit. And there happens to be a parasite that lives in this bird shit. Okay? Once inside the snail, it basically starts taking over the snail's mind. To the point where, it reached the point where the parasite now basically has possessed the snail's body. At a certain point in time, it will, basically it's like driving the snail. The snail now, as we knew it, is gone. It will then drive the snail out into a nice open place so a bird can eat it. Why? Because that's how the parasite keeps its thing going. Once it gets inside the bird, it can multiply, it takes over the bird, then the bird shits it out, of course, and the circle of life just continues, okay? As above, so below. Some of you have been possessed by either trauma externally and or also your internal experience of trauma. Whatever you experienced might have been traumatic for you. Therefore, you were also imprinted, which is also what creates that shadow that I was speaking about, that you take with you everywhere. So once we do the fire, ice, we do the fire, call back your auric pieces, the holes in your aura, seal the holes, and then like I said, I'm giving you additional tools to where you can keep protection around. So now you have a chance to really, truly rebuild how you want to. I'm also including a very, very powerful bath, which is almost like a spell. Seriously though. Especially for these, I suggest you can actually do this. Once you've done all these different, let's say you have multiple, let's say you have 3 or 4 people, right? That come up, that unfinished business needs to be taken care of, right? Then you can also, you don't have to take this bath, but it's there if you so choose, if you really want to be proficient with it, okay? So all this will be available to you. As I mentioned, it's going down September 7th on the new moon. Doors will close September 5th. September 5th, the doors got to close. I will be sending you a StreamYard link probably the evening of September 5th. That's why the doors are going to close. So that way you can make time. Now you're going to see what time we're actually going to do this ritual live. When you click the link, go on the website, all the little particulars will be there for you. Okay? This is Papa Shanguito. It's time to finish this business. Finish what you started so you can move forward to the next act, the next scene of your particular life, of your path, of your journey. All right? Peace.